Good morning. For me, being earth-centered in my religious views means finding divinity everywhere. The gifts from the sun, the air, the water, the earth, the moon and stars and planets, and all living things. Human beings, animals, birds, yes, I'm a bird nerd, fish and other crawly things, flowers, plants, and trees. It means embracing and having reverence for the natural world and their interconnectedness of everything in the universe. Whether walking on a sandy beach, hiking a mountain trail, or canoeing a river, or sitting in my own backyard, I marvel at the magnificence of this planet. From a young age, I've always loved the outdoors. My family lived in Ohio, always near a wooded area, where we would play and climb trees and swing from vines and catch frogs and snakes. We even found a cave, which we named Wolf's Cave. It really was more of a crevice and a rocky cliff, but you could enter at one side and move through until you climbed out on top of the cliff. My grandparents had a cottage on Lake Erie, and from morning to night we were down at the lake swimming and playing in the sand. And at night we would crawl around in the grass catching night crawlers or lightning bugs to put up by our bedsides. One magical time we saw monarchs in migration, and the trees looked like they were butterfly trees. I was fortunate to travel with my family on summer vacations, and since my father was from the Southwest, we frequently visited that area. My favorite trip was when we went to Mesa Verde, and I first learned about the Anasazi Indians who lived there. It was my introduction to Native American lore and spirituality. As an adult, I've been back to the Four Corners area and visited Chaco Canyon, another Anasazi ancient ruin. Suddenly, while sitting quietly in one of the sacred kivas, the most beautiful and haunting Indian flute wafted through the air from the tops of the surrounding canyon walls. It was a mystical experience for me. Native American earth-centered spirituality blends with my own beliefs. Native Americans honor the rhythms of nature, the turning of the seasons, the patterns of the sun and stars, moon and planets. All is revered. I find that much of my art is inspired by nature, and it is probably the reason I prefer clay as a medium. Nothing like playing in the dirt. Often I incorporate rocks or sticks in my work, or I make clay birds or flowers, trees, or leaves. I have collections of feathers, geodes, rocks, cicada wings, a luna moth, all over my house, and my friends bring me sticks as presents. I have an Indian drum which I painted to depict the elements associated with the four directions: fire, earth, air, and water. And when I write poetry, if you want to call it that, it's usually about something in nature. Here's an example: wonder. There is a wee box turtle living in my yard, crawling the paths of my garden. Birds visit and share seed with the rambunctious squirrels. Lizards scamper from leaf to leaf among the potted plants. Possum slinks by in the early morning as the sun rises. I only am privy to most moments in times when I catch a glimpse and I wonder at life's exquisite beauty, at my place in this time, and my relationship with God. My daily ritual includes a walk with my dog on the bayou by my house, where in the morning mist rises from the water and dew covers the grass. In the afternoon, turtles bask in the sun on the banks, and egrets, herons, and sometimes black-billed whistling ducks rest or feed. I love watching the birds in my backyard, and I love the squirrels as well. Not so much when they're eating my plants, but I feed them now too, which helps. I would be remiss if I did not talk just for a moment about the women's group of which I am a member. We have been meeting monthly for about 14 years. We sit in circle. We have drummed together, chanted songs of Mother Earth, smudged with sage, shared the stories of our lives and our families, learned to trust and speak our truth and listen to one another. We laugh and cry and pray together. We hold each other up and we give each other space to grow. We once built a sweat lodge up at Earth Springs Retreat and held a sweat ceremony, after which we bathed in the creek. We call ourselves Doe Clan, which stands for Daughters of the Earth. The circle binds us close. Thank you for listening to my reflections.